Howdy. Today we're making crab sauce. I posted my crab sauce recipe on Facebook, but now I'm going to post this on YouTube. So the first thing you do, most important thing of all, you got to have the Italian music. We got a little Jerry Vale, a little Dean Martin, got the Italian music going. It helps the sauce bubble. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up some onion. Okay, turn my pan on. I want to get it nice and hot. I have no oil in it, nothing in the pan. Just want the pan to get hot. I have some onion here, maybe about half an onion. And I'm going to cut the onion, slice it up nice and thin. Okay, not like Paulie did on the Goodfellas when he cut it with a razor blade. You know, and he said, Vinny, don't put too many onions in the sauce. Paulie, I put 2 small onions. That's what he said. So now we're putting the onions into the chopper. Okay? Nice and easy like that. Bada bing. The garlic. Oh, garlic. You gotta have garlic, right? Garlic from the gods. I crush the garlic, break it up a little bit. We gotta get the skin off it. Sometimes you gotta give it a whack. You gotta whack him. What are you gonna do? You know, he's gone, and there's nothing we can do about it. So now we take the garlic off. We get the paper off the garlic. I do 2 cloves, 2 good-sized cloves of garlic. I put it in there. Break it up again. Get it nice and smashed because you want all those flavors and juices to marry. That's why we're putting them in the thing together, because you want them to marry. You want it to marry. I've been married 25 years, me and my wife. We're like garlic and onion, right? Forget about it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop. I'm going to grind this up, and when I come back, I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the ovation. All right, we got the pan nice and hot now. I'm going to put in some extra virgin olive oil on the bottom. I'm going to coat the bottom of the pan. All right, a lot of people don't like to use a lot of oil. I like a little oil. I don't know, gives it a little kick. So I coat the bottom of the pan with oil. Nice, beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing right there. Okay? And like Al Pacino said at Donnie Brasco, all the great cooks are men. Even on Mars, the best cook's going to be a man. That's a fact. All right? What I've done now is I've taken the crabs, okay, the ovation, all right, and I put them into a scallobots. Now what we're going to do is I run them under cold water. We get a little clean. They're clean already. These are beautiful crabs. Beautiful crabs. Came right out of the water. Forget about it. Now, you can see I got my oil nice and hot. I don't want to get it too hot that it burns, but I want it nice and hot. Okay, so I turn it down a little bit. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to let the crabs drain a few minutes. Let the water get off them, because if I put the water on the crabs into the oil, you know what you get? Forget about it. You get an explosion all over your walls. So we're not going to let that happen. We're going to pause for about 2 minutes, let everything cool down a little bit, let these drain. Then we're going to start and making the crab sauce, the beginning of it, the first stages. We'll be right back. I got the crabs going in the oil. And like I said, you wanted to drain the crabs well, because you didn't want them to splash all over the place. That's what they would have done with the oil. I'm also a very clean person. I like to keep the area around the pot nice and clean. And what I've done was, I put this onto a low heat. Keep it going. It's going to get turned up a little bit, so they get cranking. But first I got to put in some ingredients. Now this was remember how we married the onion and the garlic together? Oh, they were so beautiful they got married. Forget about it, they went away. Right? So now I take the onion and the garlic, and I'm going to spread it all over the crabs. Oh, that's a beautiful thing right there. Beautiful thing. Okay? By the way, I want to thank my son Maxwell, who's filming this right now. Maxwell's, he's working on his photography skills. Maxwell, I got to thank you, my friend. You're good. You're good? Nope. You're good. You're good. You, my friend. You, Max. You got a gift. You got a gift. Okay, so now you can see I put the onion in with the garlic. I'm going to mix it around a little bit. You know, get it all mixed up. As my father would say, you don't want to make it mouchard. All right? You just want to mix it up a little bit, okay? Kind of get all the crabs all agaboy. Some my old man used to say. Now, oh, there it is. There it is, the beautiful thing right there. Crushed red pepper. A lot of people don't like it. Me, I like a little kick myself. You know what I'm saying? This is up to you on my recipe. You put as much in or as little in as you want. Don't put any in at all. Some people don't like it. I like it. I add a little bit to it. Max, he doesn't like it so much. But you know what? Forget about it. Now, I go to my parsleys. Oh, these are beautiful. These are beautiful. Put these right in like this. Parsley, again, you go by taste, how much you like. I like quite a bit. Because I want to get all those flavors married. Oh, this is beautiful. I wish you could smell this. Okay? I wish you could smell this. Now, what's going to happen next is I'm going to put the cover on this. And I'm going to go for about 20 minutes. Okay, at a little bit of a higher heat. So when we open it back up, all these crabs, come here, get a view of it. See how they're blue here? These will be all pink. Then when they're pink, bada bing, we add the sauce. I'll see you in 20 minutes. Welcome back, compadres. Oh, look at this. Look at this. That's a beautiful thing right there. Look at that. Now, what you wanted is the crabs to be pink. And you can see that they are pink now. They went from blue crabs to pink crabs. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take 4 cans of crushed tomatoes. 4 cans of crushed tomatoes, and I'm going to put the crushed tomatoes into the sauce. After that, I'm going to add my tomato paste to the sauce. And then we're going to stir it, and we're going to keep it stirring because we don't want the sauce to stick. All right? That's the most important thing. I'll be back in 1 minute. All right, I'm back. My son over there, you know, kids today, they think they know everything. Right. So now what I'm going to do, take the can of crushed tomatoes. I like tutta rossa. I think it's a nice tomato, very flavorful. And I'm going to put 4 cans of crushed tomatoes into the sauce pot. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Can you smell that? Maron. Max, you smell that? Mm-hmm. Huh? My nudge. Oh, kid, I can't wait till later. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. And of course, we got to get every little bit out of the pan. Okay, out of this can here. Because we don't want nothing to go to waste, right? Not in today's society. Now we're going to get a smaller spoon here. And get that bottom of that can going. And I'm going to show you a trick that I got from watching my mother do this. Alright? And my mother, who's still around, she doesn't make the crab sauce as much as she used to. But we used to have crab sauce every Friday night. Every Friday night we had fish, and it was crab sauce. Because in the old days, it didn't matter whether you were in Lent or not, you didn't eat meat on Fridays. So on Friday, we'd all get home from school, and you could smell it. Oh, Maron, you could smell it. The whole house smelled like crab sauce. And you couldn't wait. And it didn't matter when it was, what time of the year. You know, and then as we got older, my brothers and I, we would actually go crabbing. And we would go catch the crabs. And it was such a beautiful thing. Oh, Maron. So now, what my mother would do is she'd take 3 cans. Of course, I'm going to throw these 3 cans away into the garbage. And then she rinses 1 can. All the tiny trick here. Okay, see the can gets nice and clean. And then she puts her spoon in the can like that. Beautiful thing. Okay, now we got to add our tomato paste. And the tomato paste, a lot of people don't like tomato paste. I like it in my crab sauce. I think it gives it a little bit more of a body kind of flavor. And the tomato paste, I do 4 small 6-ounce cans, or you can do 2 12-ounce cans, whatever you want to do. You know, and you put it in. And I remember, you know, when we used to make this at home, and oh boy, my father, he was a jokester. He would tell jokes all the time. And one of his favorite jokes was, there were these 2 guys sitting in a bar. One guy's name was Louis, and the other guy's name was Tony. And so they were watching TV, and Louis says to Tony, he says, you know what, Tony? He says, I know everybody. Tony says, what do you mean you know everybody? He says, I know everybody. He says, you can't know everybody. He said, I'm telling you, I know everybody. He said, all right. And Louis said, I bet you don't know Joe Namath. They get in the car. They drive to Joe Namath's house. He rings the doorbell. Joe Namath opens the door. He says, Louis, how are you? How you been? Haven't seen you in years. He says, oh, thanks, Joe. That's good. Tony looks at him and says, all right, so you know Joe Namath. Big deal. That's not a big deal. He said, I bet you don't know Barack Obama. They get in the car. They drive to the White House. Pulls up in front of the gate at the White House. Louis says, tell Barack Obama that Louis here. Obama comes out. He says, Louis, I haven't seen you in years, Maron. Where you been? He didn't say Maron. But he said, where you been? He said, I'm doing good, Barack. And Tony says, Lou, so you know Obama. He says, I know one guy you don't know. He says, who's that? He says, the Pope. They go to the Vatican. They land. They're standing there. All of a sudden, Tony looks up. And there on the balcony coming out is Louis and the Pope. Louis looks down. He sees his friend laying on the ground. He goes running down and he says, Tony, what happened? He says, I believe it, Louis. I believe it. You know everybody. He says, why? Because I knew the Pope. He said, no. The guy behind me said, hey, who's that guy up there with Louis? Get it? Who's that guy up there with Louis? Hey. Remind me not to have you guys on the jury. I got no smiles from my son on that one. So now, as you can see, I make the sauce a little thicker. Check it out here, okay? See that? Crabs are cooking. Now, this will cook down a little bit. Cook that down a little bit. I want to mix that tomato paste nice in there. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. All those things. Everybody's getting married here. Oh, not on the move. Okay, and as I said before, I love to keep the kitchen clean because you never know when you're going to use it again. So I throw the cans out. Bada bing, bada boom, the cans are gone. Now, one little trick that I must admit I got. I didn't invent this. And actually, I got it from my wife, who happens to be Irish. Okay? The tomatoes, well, they got a little acid in them. So what you do is you take a little bit of sugar. And you just sprinkle it around like that. Nice. And the sugar helps break down the acid in the tomato paste. Now, if there's any young ladies out there, and you got a guy and you want to get married, take it from me. This is the recipe that'll do it. If this guy likes fish, if he likes spaghetti sauce and he likes fish, oh, madam, you make this for him. He'll say, honey, be my bride. Right there. Bing. On the mark. That's how you do it. Now, a couple people, well, you know, they feel that a sauce is not a sauce unless you put a little vino in it, a little red wine. Me personally, I'm okay with it. I'd rather put the wine in the glass and say, you know, have a little drink. I'd rather put it here than there. But you know what? I'll just add just a pinch or a punch. Never know. Remember Donnie Brasco? He said, what are you adding, a pinch or a punch? Now I'm going to put in a little pepper. Very little salt. Very little salt. A punch of salt. Watch. A punch of salt. See? And then you throw a little bit over your shoulder like that. Okay? So now you got a punch of salt in there. I got a little bit of vino. Just enough to give it a little bit of flavor. Now, I'm going to turn up the heat on this. Okay? Turn up the heat. Medium heat. I'll put the cover back on. This is going to go for 20 minutes. And so I'll be back in 20 minutes and I'll show you the next step. Because the next step is the important step. The waiting. Be right back. We're back. We're on. My son. You, my son, you got a gift. You got a gift. All right. So now we're back. Been simmering for about 20 minutes. At this point, this is the point where you give it a taste. And you want to see, as you can see, the nice bubbles. And it goes with the music. boom, ba. See how a bubble goes with the music? Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a taste. Oh, hasn't even finished cooking. And it's out of this world. Now after you taste it, this is where you would say I need a little salt, I need a little pepper, a little more hot pepper. Me, perfect. Beautiful. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I put the lid on. I keep it on a very low simmer. I'm going to stir. In fact, I'll give it one stir. We don't want the sauce to stick, so we got to keep it stirring. We move some of the crabs up top to the bottom. Swish them around a little bit, you know. Put the spoon in the can like my mother taught me. I'm going to put the lid on. Now with the lid on, I'm going to set the timer. Okay, to 1 hour and 40 minutes. Now, at an hour and 40 minutes, I'm going to come back and I'll show you. I'll take it off, and then we do 2 hours with the lid off. So let's get down to an hour and 40. There we go. So an hour and 40 minutes, we'll be back. In the meantime, we're going to keep stirring. Then we'll take the lid off and we'll go for 2 hours. Okay, we're back. We got about 10 minutes or so left. There's the sauce bubbling nice. We've been stirring it for the last hour and 40 minutes. Get the crabs going. Okay, nice and hot. So what we did, and what the next step is, I'm going to reach over here and get a spoon, because you always got to taste it. Always got to taste it. Oh, model. That's good. Now, next thing we do is we turn it down to very low, so that it's just going to bubble. And it's going to go for 2 more hours. So that's 3 hours and 40 minutes plus another hour of getting everything ready. You're looking at a 4 or 5 hour sauce. Now, most people leave it overnight in the pan, in the refrigerator, so that the crabs really flavor the sauce, and then it's better the next day. I do both. I eat it tonight, and then I eat it again tomorrow. So what I'll do is come back. Max will be here with me in 2 hours. We'll boil our macaroni and then mangia. Okay, this is it. The sauce is done. It's been cooking over 4.5 hours. Now what I'm going to do is take some, put it in containers, freeze it. I'll take some for tomorrow, have a little bit tonight. That's how you make crab sauce. This is how you do it. So remember, always make sure the crabs are clean and keep stirring the sauce. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good one. One last taste.